I don't know if you read the story about me going to Tapalpa. Maybe you didn't read that one.
No, I've been off the planet for these last couple of days.
Well, maybe I have too, because I'll tell you what happened when I went to Tapalpa.
Okay, cool.
I guess I had what you might call a flashback to my peyote experience. So as it happened, I was in a very dark room in a hotel or a posada in Tapalpa.
Yep.
And, dark room, it's nice and quiet. The only source of light was this standby light on the television. And I looked at it and I was like, something weird's going on. And it kind of looked like it was moving around in my vision, or like I couldn't focus on it. And so my eyes were moving around. And so I was like, hang on, this reminds me of something. So very similar to the experience that I had in the desert when I was on peyote and I saw lights in the distance, and it seemed like they were trying to communicate with me through the manipulation of light, like light signals, so kind of like smoke signals. Mm-hmm. And so I had this conversation with this light, or with whatever was behind the light, either my subconscious or extraterrestrial spirits, whatever. And so so they were like, can you show us something? Do you have something for us? And I was like, gee, let me think about what I can give you. And I offered a few things. I was like, how about this, the theory of evolution? And they were like, not that old thing. And I said, okay, how about Bitcoin? And they were like, we gave you that.
Ooh.
So that's something funny to think about.
Yeah.
And then I said, okay, well, last time you were interested in anatomy, so let me show you my brain. And so I went through different parts of my brain and tried to illuminate it so they could see the kind of the structure of it. And then I went to sleep. And in the morning, I was sitting in a cafe, and of course, I have my notepad there with me, and I start writing. And then some very interesting ideas started coming out. So this is like what Terence McKenna talks about is meme traders. So when he talks about taking a DMT trip, and he goes to this other realm, and these little machine elves are like, hey, so do you have something for us? And he says, well, have a look at this. This is the E-King. And they say, oh, that's cool. And they jump around and jump in and out of him and all over the place. And they say, well, have a look at this. And they present him like this, a science fiction story about the splitting of Earth into two different realities, or whatever idea that he found fascinating. So my interpretation was that so I showed them this idea about human anatomy, and they kind of left something with me. In the morning, it started to come out in my writing, and so they gave me this kind of idea of a new economic theory, I suppose. And so in the article or in the story, I go through and say, okay, so we have this delayed barter system, and then we have commodity money like gold and silver as money. Then we have fiat currency, which is seen as, especially in the Austrian school, it's seen as a step back because it's based on debt, and so it's kind of, it's kind of tricky, like keeping people enslaved. Yeah. But the thing about fiat currency is, in a way, it's more advanced than gold and silver, because gold and silver is a physical thing, and you think it's actually money, but in all cases, it actually represents something else. Like the gold represents your work, or the effort you've put in, or the value that you've given to people, whatever form that takes.
Yeah.
Fiat currency, again, it's representative of something, but it's just a it's a piece of paper or a piece of plastic, and it doesn't really, it's not actually something, not like gold and silver. It doesn't really have exactly a physical presence.
Yes.
It's an idea, and you can wire money all over the world, and you're just wiring numbers. Similar thing when you get to Bitcoin, it's even more of an idea. Like there's no paper, there's no plastic. It's just an idea. It's just ones and zeros, and you can send these ones and zeros all over the world. But again, it's an idea that represents another idea. So it represents the value. It's not the value itself.
Yep.
But then what do you have after that? Well, you have ideas themselves. So instead of trading Bitcoin or cryptocurrency, which is ideas that represent ideas, we want to trade the ideas themselves. And the thing is about ideas, they do have certain qualities, which are certain qualities of good money. So like portability. So, gold is more portable than a horse. Bitcoin is much more portable than gold. You can send it all over the world in virtually an instant. But ideas, you can't send Bitcoins through realities. You can't send Bitcoins through dimensions. You cannot do that because there's no guarantee that they'll have the ability to receive them on the other side, and they don't have an counterparty blockchain. But with ideas, you can send them through realities. They are that light, they are that portable, and they are that readily accepted, which is another important quality of money.
Oh, yeah.
That you can send them through realities. You can trade ideas through realities. And so that makes them very good as money in certain cases. So this is the idea of the meme traders. Why do they do what they do? Well, they're just trading. They're just they've got this established form of money which is well accepted even among people who don't know that it's money. Imagine that. Like I could give you a form of money and you're like, what the fuck? What? I don't even know what this is. And I'm just like, yeah, it's just a thing, but it's actually money and you don't even know it. The other thing is
that's
brilliant.
I love it. Yeah, keep going. Keep on. It's cool. Yeah.
Yeah. They deal in what I call change worlds. So some ideas are so potent that just the mere entry of an idea can change it.
Yeah.
Can change reality forever. So this is kind of like, I mean, you had this idea a few months back where you said, what if Satoshi Nakamoto wasn't a real person? What if it's just he's the story that we tell, so we can explain what happened?
Yeah, like he was just a splash.
Yes. So similar thing. When the idea of this distributed ledger reached our reality had to change because of that. Now it doesn't. Like we say, it doesn't really matter who Satoshi Nakamoto was. We don't care to a great extent. We don't. It doesn't matter to us because it's the idea that's important. So the idea came into our reality somehow, maybe through aliens, or maybe through hard work. We don't know what exactly, and that will have this huge effect on our little bubble.
Yep.